What's going on, Matt?
How are we doing, Julian?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for being here. Can you introduce yourself and let us know who you are?
Yeah, so my name's Matt. I have my real estate media business and also social media business now, thanks to Julian, Top Shelf Media. Um, Last summer, it was August, started getting this guy Julian's ads popping up all over my feed, and he really spoke to me the way he was directly calling me out as a real estate videographer. And how he teaches us to transition into social media agency. And so like soon as I was getting those ads, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what this guy has to offer. I'm pretty sure you sent me a DM like soon as I followed you or something,
Yeah.
and I replied to it. We set up a call, and right there I joined your program, and ever since it has been pretty awesome. You have completely shifted my business from doing just small one-time gigs, and now I have the monthly recurring revenue, which I still have so much room to grow, which is awesome. And yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Well, I love to hear that. Yeah, you were definitely like one of the first clients to join too. I remember it was like I think it was like the second week I started putting ads out, and I finally talked to you. You were like super excited. You're like, I don't know, like you're like, forget, let's do it, right? I was like, here's a price. You're like, all right, let's do it. Paid in full, right? Like you're hyped, and then
Right, right. So I saw what you were doing is exactly like what I wanted to do. So I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm not hopping in this.
yeah, so tell me about so how did we get to this version of Matt? So like tell me like all the way up until we've met, like what were you doing before then?
So before I starting in January, I started learning real estate photography and video. So not too long ago, less than a year ago, I bought a course to learn photography and video for real estate, like to start a real estate media business. And I still had a job at the time. And
And what job was that?
I, what's that?
What job was that?
That was working at the liquor store. So I worked full time at the liquor store, which um pretty quickly, a few months in, I went to part time. But so yeah, I was started that, and I started doing social media content for agents by accident because one of them just reached out to me saying like, "Oh, would you be willing to try this out?" So it kind of just happened, and I kind of was put on a retainer with him without me even knowing what retainers are. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna do 1,500 a month. You're gonna come out once a week to film for me and my wife," and that's how that kind of happened. And besides that, social media part of the business didn't really go anywhere until I met you. Um, so all summer I just kept growing my real estate media business. It was going pretty good. At the time I thought I was doing killing it. I got up to about 7K, I think, until August, about 7K just doing the media and then the one client. And I started getting your ads saying how you were doing only 15 shoots a month, making 30K. I was like, oh my God, like this is exactly the route I wanted to take my business. And I joined your program and started learning the systems, and that's really all of it. Like if I would literally have paid for this program again just for the systems, and like because that's just implementing the systems will just absolutely skyrocket your business if you know how to work a camera. um so that was about it. So that led up to August, and I was still working part-time. um so
You're
I
still working part-time in August?
I was still working part-time in August.
What?
I So like slow, so it was a family business, so I was able to slowly like cut back my hours, luckily. So I was still working part-time until November. And so I hit my first 10K month while still working part-time, which is actually pretty crazy to think about. Um, so yeah, so we started working, was it maybe middle of August, and the first few months, no, no, the first few weeks, I didn't really do much, because I was really hesitant doing the cold calls or whatever, like cold calling our current clients. And I think about a month in, I got my first two clients, and then that's when I was like, okay, this works. And so I started posting more content and going all in on it. And I still have been slacking, I still been slacking with the ads. So that's like actually really exciting because in the new year, that's one of my main goals is to go all in on the ads. And because I have so much room to grow still.
Exactly. Like I do remember you were like a little slower, like it took you a while just to change your bio, even like your profile picture to get verified.
Hmm.
I think once you start seeing the other guys like get results, you're like, all right, I need to just do it, right?
Right.
What got you into like why did you choose real estate media in the first place?
So it kind of just fell into my lap. I had a course that kept popping up on my feed that was just like taught you photography. And I was like, all right, like I'm gonna try this out as a side hustle. And then quickly saw like the potential just shooting houses that you could do it full time, which you still can. I still could grow my business that direction, but the social media content is more scalable and just leverage my time more, which one of the reasons I hopped in your course is how you would always tell us, we're gonna buy our time back with these high ticket, and that's exactly what it does. But so yeah, it kind of just happened, just all fell into my lap. There was actually, besides that, there's no, I don't really have a past in photography or anything. Like I've had cameras my whole life. Like I like try to like make little YouTube channels and stuff like that. Besides that, I don't have much past like professional experience. It kind of just fell in my lap.
That's cool, man. Yeah, wow. A lot that's changed for you in 1 year. That's crazy.
It definitely has.
So for your family business liquor store, how much were you making there?
I was making about 45,000 a year, so it was like 22 an hour, 21 an hour, something like that.
And what are you at right now?
We are at November, we had my highest month at 16,000. In December, it's going down because the media side of my business slowed down in December. We probably will be around 14, 15.
That's dope, bro. So tell me, so obviously I've helped you specifically with like the content agency side, the social media side, right?
Right,
But obviously they've both grown, like your real estate media
for
and that.
sure.
So what about like when you joined, what has helped you also grow the other side too? Because I know a lot of
Right.
it's like mindset also. So like what has helped you grow that side also?
Right. So I grew my MRR with these social media clients from 1,500 to 7,500, which is really great. But what also was crazy is my media side of my business also doubled or even a little more than doubled just by posting content and showing my face.
Mm,
So because you stress about how building a personal brand, before starting working with you, I've never really showed my face on social media. Nowhere. Like I think I had one video in the beginning, like I did like a little talking head or whatever, and I feel like that would just allowed my local clients or potential clients to feel more welcome to like DM me, or because like they see a face. It's not just some business with photos or like behind like videos of houses or something. I was actually started showing my face, and I feel like that really, really grew my business, just that alone.
that's awesome. So would you say that that's like the most like one of the most important things that you learn, like specifically?
100% growing your personal brand. That and then just the systems, those two alone.
Tell me about the systems. Like, do you think the system is something someone could like walk through by themselves, or do you think they need guidance to get through it?
So before working with you, I never had a mentor or anything like that. I was like, why would I spend thousands of dollars? Like I was like, because I could just learn these on YouTube, eventually do it myself, which I could, but probably have taken what, 2 years to get to this point. Um, and going with a program like yours, I was able to watch the videos, hop on one-on-one with calls, and just implement right away. And one of the most important things was I was really stubborn and I was editing everything myself. And you kind of like laughed at that and were like, oh my God, you need to start outsourcing that. And like that was part of the system, just outsourcing all of that low value tasks and setting up systems with scheduling post and all of that.
That's nice, bro. And you also like, do you use like our internal editor? Like, is it Emad? Does he do your edits
He
for your
takes care
clients
of three
and
of
the
my
thumbnails
clients. Yeah, he does most of my a lot of my editing. He does three of the agents.
and the thumbnails too, right?
Right. Yep.
So that's perfect, bro. Like you came in, we get
Right.
a few editors too, which you didn't expect, and thumbnails, right?
Right. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And I didn't even realize how powerful thumbnails were until I started working with you guys. Because a lot of you guys say what stood out to you mostly was my thumbnails at first. Like that's what Casey has said that a few other people's like the thumbnails really like jumped out, which is interesting. Like
Yeah, it does because
presentation matters.
not a very small amount of people actually have like custom thumbnails on the page. It definitely stands out. And it's like a clean look too. So it's a nice value add for what are we paying? Just a few bucks per thumbnail to have that huge value add for our clients. I think that was huge.
Yeah, I got to go back to that. I like to test a bunch of things, so I like to test not thumbnails in different colors, but I got to go back to the thumbnails because it
Right.
makes everything look like clean, like you said, it just like pops out.
It does for sure.
So tell me, what are like your next goals? Like, what are you working on now?
So that's actually a big one because December, I've kind of gotten shiny object syndrome with my business, like not buying stuff with my business. Like I'm seeing all these other business models and I'm like, oh, I need to do that. Like they're making more per hour. And I feel like that's really distracted me. And I've kind of slowed down with what's actually working for me. So my goal for January and then going into the new year is doubling down with exactly what you've taught me and focus on that because I've been always bringing up like, oh, I need a remote off or whatever, which is true. That could make me a lot of money, but that's not what's working for my business right now. So my goal is to double down on these in-person retainers and grow that because I have so much more room to grow with that.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, bro. Like, I don't know if you saw my last YouTube video, but I was pretty much talking about that. Like, there's so much noise and so much that we consume from
Right.
other people that we don't actually think about what we actually want, right? And it's so shiny object syndrome because like you go on Instagram, you get bombarded with content about, hey, I
Hmm.
make my money doing this, right? And I get this type of profit. Or you go on YouTube and someone's saying, hey, this strategy works the best. And we're like, okay, because we've won before, we're like, okay, we can win at all these things, right?
Hmm.
But to really win, you have to stick to what works and continuously do it, right?
Right.
And then you just figure out, like, you just fill the holes in the bucket. So let's say it's like a leaky bucket, right? You pour water in, it starts to leak. Well, just you have to figure out a way to patch that hole, and then patching that hole is going to help, you know, keep the water in the bucket, right? So once you can patch all those holes, and you have a really functioning business, and you're not going to want to change or pivot. So
Right. For
so once
sure.
you, so for example, once you hire someone who can like set appointments for you or edit more videos, or once you get a social media manager, right? Or maybe you get someone who can do sales, right? Or you get a second shooter. At that point, why would you want to change? It's like at that point, you have this like well-oiled machine that's like, you know, giving you like financial freedom, and it's
Mhm.
locally, and then you can expand. So you start local, then you start to go into the next zip codes next to you.
Right.
And that's a much harder business. Like, of course, doing something online is easier, right? But the harder things are what it's harder to compete with. So let's say you can really figure out the done for you aspect in your local business, bro. You figure that out, no one can compete with you because it's hard to get like the topics, the scripts, the filming, the editing, the posting. A lot of people can't do that. Like I was just you know, Ryan Panetta.
Yep.
So I just saw a video on Instagram, and there was one guy like complaining about Ryan Panetta's social media program. And he was saying like he made a video, bro. He was like, they promised that they would post on 7 social media accounts for me and do all this stuff, and they didn't do it. I want a refund. Right. And Ryan was like in the comments, like, yeah, um, we discontinued that. We don't post for people anymore. Right. So he was like, so maybe you saw like an old ad or something like that. I mean, they're gonna work it out, but the point is like that stuff's hard, right? Like you,
Hmm.
it's because someone's like more well known that they do it better, but they don't. They deal with the same issues. So if you can figure out how to make this work, right, and not have shiny object syndrome, just keep your head down and get it done, bro, you're gonna really crush. Because if you're at like 15 to 17K already without even trying, right? Like you keep turning ads off,
Right.
like without even trying, bro.
Right. I have a proven system, so we just got to double down on it.
Exactly. Because how much is your average package right now?
1 to 3K, but the 1K is like all of my clients, pretty much the majority of my clients. So that is one thing I'm working out on, trying to make um, a higher package that has more value, so people go for that.
Yeah, I think if you can just maybe like add ads to it, to
Hmm.
like you could film like a few ads for them with our scripting formula, and then just have those running so that they consistently get prospects coming to them,
Right,
trying to play the organic game because organic is much harder these days.
for sure.
It's a lot
It is
harder. So if
so
you could
much more competition for them too.
exactly, so if you just like run like a few ads and guarantee like, hey, well not guarantee, but if that actually gets some like consistent follows of people who are thinking of buying or selling, right? That's a good thing to do. But you have to learn how to do that yourself first. So you have to like play with it, get consistent, then you start getting business, and then you say, okay, this works. I could do it for them.
Exactly.
I think that's the next move because at that point you're also like I have a few people on my network. One works with aesthetic businesses, and he only pretty much teaches them like the funnel part, right? And he charges super high ticket. Another guy works with accountants, and he only teaches the funnel part, and I think he also helps script their ads. So if you can script their ads for them, film, and you can obviously film it, right? Put those out there, and then help them on the back end, maybe even like appointment set, like you can hire like a VA or someone to appointment set for them.
Hmm.
At that point, they'd pay even more.
Definitely.
But that is a lot more moving parts though too. So I think you can raise the price even without doing that. Because has anyone ever complained about price or haggled you on it?
Um, a little bit.
What do you mean?
Like I've had a few clients who didn't sign just because it's out of their budget, but that's just they weren't a right fit.
Oh well,
But
that's
like,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah, no,
not
but
bad.
like clients I have never complained. No.
Okay. Because once you start to work with more people, and they'll be like, "Hey, those are my competitors," it's like, "Hey, well, then I'll have to raise the price on you," and then they might be like, "Okay, okay, I get it."
That is true.
Yeah, but you've barely scratched the surface there.
For sure.
Mm.
I've barely scratched the surface.
So, like, what about like your monetary goals? Let's say the next like 3 to 6 months. What do you want to be at?
So I want to be at 20K a month without having my old media services, so all recurring revenue. So all high ticket.
Completely doable. Because if
Right.
you could get like your next, how many are monthly recurring right now?
I have 6,
Six, and that puts you at like
75.
75. So you would need 12,500, all right? Extra.
Oh God, I'm bad at math off the top of the
I'm
head.
pretty
I think
sure.
so.
Pretty sure, yeah. So that could just be like 6 or 7 more clients.
Right. And that was my plan to raise that $1,000 package to $1,500 once I start adding help with ads and scripting ads, which is completely reasonable for them because I'm driving more results.
And how much are you, how many pieces of content are you making at the 1,000?
6 videos.
Yeah, so you'll definitely have to like pivot that. I would just raise your prices for all new people already.
Right. For all new clients, raise it.
Yeah, just pass it on to them.
Right. And just keep the current clients because they joined early on in my business. So
Well,
keep them at the 1,000.
at least for now, I'll
Hmm.
just try to get new clients at the new price. And since you have clients already paying you, they're not going to know.
Right.
Pass it on to the next group, and then just because that's how you test. You know, that's how you test to see what actually works.
See how they react to the pricing.
But I think you could definitely hit that in the next like 3 months. Because my goal is really like I talked to Jamar too. We're gonna go like monk mode. like 90 days straight monk mode, head down, right? So that might have to be after the event because I'm also going to Disneyland right before that. So it's gonna be hard to be straight, but after the event, straight like 90 days of monk mode. So that should be a test. I think we should do quarterly planning too. I'll come up with some a document to quarterly plan so we can hit like benchmarks. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that'll be good for everybody, right? To have benchmarks to look forward to. Because as long as you have your intentions on a number, right? And you see it every day, whether it's like vision board or written down, it's so much easier to attract once you can actually like see it.
Definitely. Definitely. And that's my goal to go into the new year at all 100% like monk mode because right now I feel like I'm only giving it 75% because I'm just skipping so many things. So if I can just put all those pieces together, I think we'll be in a really good position.
Yeah, because has there ever been a time where you feel like you went 100%?
Like
Like at least like a week span or two
I would
weeks
say
or a day?
weeks here and there, weeks here and there have gone 100%, but that's haven't stayed consistent.
Now imagine 90 days of that.
Right, exactly.
That's how I feel like it's been a while since I've gone like 100%. Like
Hmm.
when I first launched the coaching, like the first 2 weeks, I went 100% because I was still doing agency work too. And I was like, I don't even know if this works. So I was like, the more phone calls I have with people, the better my chances, right?
Hmm.
Then it worked. And then I went on vacation. And then since that vacation, I've just been like focused on, giving results to you guys. But I haven't like gone super, super hard since then. So now going into like January, it's like, okay, Julian, you gotta focus completely. Let's see what you can actually do.
That's how I feel like that's where I'm at too. Like I have my solid amount of clients now and I'm just been like focused on them. And now that I have like the systems, everything goes smoothly. It's time to go all in on prospecting new clients.
Exactly. So, what's your best advice for anyone who's thinking about joining the Dreamers Academy?
I say just go for it. If you've thought about it just any bit, just go for it. Just a few clients will pay you off your how much your investment was, and it's super reasonable. It's super reasonable because you're able to just implement the systems right in place. And if you have any doubt, like look at all of us who've seen success already. So I think if you know how to work a camera and you have any thought of going for it, you just need to go for it. I was at the position where I didn't want to invest in myself. And as soon as I did it, I started seeing results. And I've actually paid for another mentor, Julian, you know him. And I've seen great success for that. So I'm always going to continue investing in myself too. And I think you just need to go for it.
Sweet. And that mentor is probably going to be joining this too. So,
Right.
like we've been talking, because he brings the energy that is complementary to what I bring. So, imagine us all in one spot. That'd be like another level.
So he might be joining your Dreamers coaching program.
Yeah, we're working on a way to make it work. Just just combining it.
Yeah, he brings the spark, that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Because you're
Yeah,
you're more chill, right? I'm a
right.
chill. I'm like Jamar, like you're always on, bro. Like
He
I
knows
wish
how
I
to
wish I
motivate
had
you.
that. Exactly. And you need that. You need someone who can like motivate.
Hmm.
And he's really good with sales too. So we're working on that. But
That's pretty cool.
yeah, because
That's
he's
awesome.
like because he's my mentor too, right? And I met him in 2020. It was January 2020 at like he had this marketing event that I went to and we just like clicked. And then from there, like I look back, he was giving me like public speaking coaching first. I watched those videos, bro. It's so cringe of me like outside talking, like trying trying to get my pitches together. It's just complete cringe, And I've grown a lot. So now it's like at the point where okay, it's to the point where we can like work together because I've grown so much. And then he's at a point where like he's willing to like help a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so super connecting will be like intertwined with like
And the super connecting right into this.
exactly. So what would be your best advice for just like in general for someone who wants to be doing what you're doing right now?
I think just taking action. There's so much out there. Even if you haven't hired a mentor or anything yet, there's so much information out there. You just have to take action. And that's something that slows me down a lot, just watching too many YouTube videos and not actually taking action.
Yeah, so action, man.
Action,
Why?
massive action.
That's why my company's called More Than a Dreamer. You got to be more than, because
Right.
a dream alone is just a dream. It's taking action. It's doing the actual work.
Right. The action will make the dream come true.
Exactly, exactly. Well, Matt, thank you so much, man. I'm so happy that you're winning. I can't wait to see what you do in 2024.
I'm excited too. Thank you so much. You've definitely changed my life, that's for sure.
Wow, thank you, man.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm excited for the event in January. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes, that's gonna be cool. Like it's so weird because that's something that I've never done before, right? And then because my other like mentor who's much younger than me, Grayson, right? He was like, "Bro, just do it." I was
Right.
yeah, I'm thinking of doing an event at some point. He's like, "Bro, just like do like next month." I was like, "Oh shit, really?" He's like, "Yeah, I just do it," you know. It's like, okay, now I got an event. Now people, because when I first got the Airbnb, I was like, are people even gonna want to show up, right? And then like the same day you freaking got your room. And
That I was all in as soon as I saw you do that, post
yeah,
that.
at that point I was like, oh, I guess this is actually happening now. You know, it's a
Yeah.
real thing.
And besides like just your systems and motivation you can bring, like just being in part of the group is I think what helped my business grow. Seeing everyone post their wins, it's like, all right, it's time for me to go take action to get a win.
Exactly.
So like coming out of that event in January, I feel like we're all gonna be so motivated and locked in.
Yeah, seeing people in real time,
Hmm.
that's gonna do a lot. Yeah. I gotta revive the group. It slowed down a bit, maybe because of the holidays, but it's time to revive.
Right. I think so. The holidays and everyone just busy doing their thing. We got to get more active talking.
That's the thing. When people start making money, they get busier.
Right.
Like in the beginning, everyone was like, "Oh, strategy calls," right? Now it's like, "Oh, I actually have clients now." Can't,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Can't make the group call or something or
yeah, it's like once people start making money, it's like they get busy. But that's a good problem to have.
that's true.
We're in the chat all day. We're probably not making money.
Yeah.
Well, cool, bro. Thank you. Is there anything we can end it here, but is there anything you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.